Prime Minister Modi today unveiled a 10-point agenda to his cabinet and the focus on letting bureaucrats work without fear. The Prime Minister has also emphasized that the key to economic revival is kickstarting stalled investments. Modi has also stressed on the need for consistency in policy making.
The PM also wants his government to work in a time-bound manner, and so he's asked all ministries to prepare a 100-day roadmap. Modi wants to send out a loud signal that his government means business and no time will be wasted. While his 10 commandments, we've got the street excited. Impatient India Inc. is now waiting for concrete action. Let's get in an expert perspective really on that big story. We're joined by S. Narayan, former Finance Secretary and also advisor to Prime Minister Vijay. Mr. Narayan, on top of Modi's 10-point agenda really is to empower bureaucrats so that they can take decisions fearlessly. Do you think, given the kind of policy paralysis that we saw during the tenure of the UPA government, was this the most critical issue that needed to be addressed?
Yes, I think it is very, very important because I think in the last 1 or 2 years, the bureaucracy has been very hesitant to take decisions, to pass files, etc., especially after some of the scams surface. So I think it is very, very important for the Prime Minister to come forward and say that go ahead and do what you are expected to do, and I think it's a very, very good move.
All right, good move indeed, sir, but does he need to institutionalize a framework that will perhaps protect these bureaucrats? Because look at the recent Supreme Court order on bureaucrats above the rank of Joint Secretary. Should he really institutionalize this whole process?
No, I think there are enough regulations and enough safeties available for bureaucrats in place. After all, what has the Supreme Court says? That if you want to proceed against somebody for corruption, there is no need to take a permission. But there's, a bureaucrat, there's nothing wrong in that directive. But that has nothing to do with bureaucrat working fast, working normally, taking decisions in his normal course of work. But this was not happening. And therefore, the Prime Minister putting it at the top of the agenda would surely give a lot of relief and comfort to the bureaucrats to say, yes, we can go ahead and do what we are expected to do.
It's often said in political circles that Mr. Narendra Modi likes to interact more with his bureaucrats than with his political colleagues. That really has been the Gujarat model. Do you think he can replicate that at Raisina Hill here in New Delhi?
In this, I would, instead of the word bureaucracy, I would use the word institutions. He would like to work with the institutional arrangements in place and not with just the political arrangements in place. So I think this is a very, very good model. The only thing that needs to be taken care of, that where there are inter-ministerial issues, like for example environment or center state issues like land, etc., that he should take matters to himself, which I think he has given himself room to do, so that he can sort out the disputes. I think again this is a very, very good model that has been introduced. Of course, one must ensure that the institutions, by which I mean the bureaucracy as well as the political ministries, they work together in harmony and there should not be any discord. So there have been cases, as we know, in the past, last 2-3 years, particularly in the coal department, we saw where there was disharmony between the minister and the secretary. But I do hope that this new venture will ensure that there is no disharmony like this.
Mr. Narayan, you spoke about interministerial coordination, and that in a sense was the main problem with the UPA government because every minister thought that one was bigger than the other. Do you see that improving? That's also one of Modi's 10 commandments. Do you see that improving with a strong leader like Narendra Modi?
I think what you are seeing here is something, a trend away from the decision making of the past. The decision making of the past was to make an empowered group of ministers to focus everything at the ministerial level, to try to sort out, because all the ministers were I would say heavyweights in themselves, to try to sort out matters at the ministerial level and then push these decisions down at the bureaucratic level. Now what is being attempted is totally different. It is to take the bureaucrats into their confidence, to say, okay, go ahead and take the decisions, so that interministerial decision coordination happens not just at the bureaucratic level but also at the ministerial level, and it's overseen by the Prime Minister. So you are seeing a distinct change in the decision making process as compared to the earlier, and I'm sure this is an experiment well worth emulating and succeeding.
All right, one will still wait and wonder whether this distinct decision-making process will find favor with the political class here in New Delhi. But Mr. Narayan, thanks very much for being with us right here on ET Now.